We'll be jumping to take headlines across Africa. And today I mentioned we're heading to Namibia, Cameroon, and Niger for headlines across Africa.
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 Let's start from Namibia, and we're reading from the Namibian newspaper, but disturbing headlines coming from them. It says we're waiting to die. And this has to do with the fact that there's been a bit of drought happening in one of the Kusene states in Namibia. And so a lot of people have lost their livestock. And for some of them, the only way they can actually get food, especially for like a bag of rice or a sachet of maize, some of the people are actually exchanging it for 5 goats. So I actually saw the story and I was disturbed because, I mean, if you don't have 5 goats, how on earth would you get a bag of rice? And this kind of situation has been going on for some time. Some of them have complained because their livestock is actually dying. They are losing livestock due to the fact that they can't feed them, they can't get food for them. There literally is starvation happening in the Kusen district in Namibia. So if you're there, what can I say? Keep heart, and I believe the government would come to your aid. Not would come, but the government has to come to your aid because headlines like this, "We're waiting to die," is a very disturbing one. It's not a headline you'd want to be reading. It's not a headline you want to be focusing or following up on every time. And I believe citizens shouldn't be left in such a state where this is what they have to say, that we're waiting to die. No, something better, something else, something more important has to come out of such a situation. So to all the people in the Kusen district in Namibia, we're with you. We're standing with you. And that's the story coming from the Namibian newspaper in Namibia. But I just want to, just a quick one though. I think a proper work should be done. I believe the right relief system should be put in place so that the needed things, there should be a relief fund, something just to alleviate it, because I know the government has to deal with COVID-19 and its situations, but I think that something has to be put aside, some subsidiary just to keep them, because it will be like losing citizens to starvation as much as COVID-19 is very much still there. And that is a big problem. So I think it's something that should be worked upon. Now, moving on from there, we're going to Cameroon, where we're reading from the Cameroon Infonet. And here the story tells us that Cameroon is actually standing in solidarity. They've sent humanitarian assistance to Equatorial Guinea due to the explosions, or after the explosions that took place in the camp, the military camp, on the 7th of March 2021. So the president actually Paul Biya sent humanitarian aid to Equatorial Guinea, and he sent a number of people to go and help them after the 7th March explosion this year. So I think it's a good thing, standing with your people. He sends like 60 health personnel to go and help them, and to go and see the injured and all that, and see how they can help with the situation as well. He sent a couple of other people as well. But one thing that for me stood out for this story coming from Cameroon is the fact that there's solidarity. As much as we're all dealing with COVID-19, he thought it fit, and he saw that, fine, my fellow country is facing something. Is there anything I can do about it? Yes. What am I doing about it? What can I do about it? And he did something about it. So as much as we're all focusing on keeping our own and ensuring our own is good, we can learn from his example and practically just ensure that we help each other when we find ourselves in times of problems or issues. Now, finally, moving on to Niger, we'll be reading from the Le Sahel newspaper. And the headline says, "Video conference of the group of friends for the elimination of violence against women and girls. Niger shares its innovations with participants and reaffirms its commitment to combat gender-based violence." Bam. Well, the Minister of Planning, Miss Kane Achatu Bolama, represented yesterday Prime Minister Mr. Brigi Rafini at the high-level video conference of the Group of Friends for the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls. The exchanges took place in the presence of several members of the government and the head of the delegation of the European Union to Niger. The president of the Republic of Estonia, a northern European country very advanced in the fight against cybercrime against women and girls, also participated in the discussion on the theme COVID-19 and violence against women and girls, what the international community has done to address it. Well, after reading Mr. Brigi Rafini for panelists, the Minister of Planning makes interventions during the debates, and interventions in which he stressed that gender-based violence can take several forms that further complicate the fight. I mean, that is true. For her, the commitment of participants must be the firm in order to trigger a synergy of action that can effectively promote a fight against the scourge of violence against women and girls. And I think this is a big deal. Lately, I think in the past week, we had about two women here who lost their lives to domestic violence, and it's not a good thing. The fight is still ongoing, but sometimes it's like the flame just goes down. It's like you cease hearing something about it until somebody loses their life again, and we just go ablaze in the whole situation. After a while, we all just die down. Then we rise. It's become like this on and off situation, and if it keeps going like that, one can wonder how on earth should it be taken seriously. So I think it's a good thing that they're looking at the innovations, the interventions, and Niger is actually presenting what they have done and also trying to reach out to see what can be done to make it work better.